I'd like to start my life today with a story. Last Thursday, I had took out a very, very dear person to me who's very close to my heart to celebrate together a very significant milestone that she came to. And then this thought occurred to me that maybe the fact that we are celebrating this milestone will make it go away. Or what happens if it doesn't last? If this thing that that was significant, very significant to her and to me, and, we were celebrating that we came to this point, and what happens if it doesn't last and we celebrate it, or because we celebrated it? So my name is Sippy Livnet. I am a nurse and a certified food addiction counselor and sugar licensed for a diagnostic tool for sugar addiction. And my subject today is what happens when something is really, really good and we're afraid that it won't last. This happens a lot also with people who do my GPS to sugar-free program. This is a program to really completely recover from sugar and food addiction. And a lot of times what happens is about a month into the process of what I call biochemical repair, just like my mentor Beaton does. And a lot of times what happens is that after about a month, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, people start really reaping the fruits of their hard work of going sugar-free, of detoxing from the sugar and really going off all these drug foods. So what happens is they start losing weight and they start getting all these compliments about how they look. Many times this is the point already where you can start seeing it on the person's skin. They feel less bloated. They feel like their clothes fit them better. They feel like they have more energy. But the most wonderful thing that happens to the people after about a month of being sugar-free is that all of a sudden you get this like freedom from the cravings of sugar. And the people who do my program say, I can't believe it. This is something that I never dreamt would be possible for me. I go to a wedding. Somebody brings this like huge, amazing, gorgeous cake to the office and they're serving it around. And not only do I not have any, I don't even feel like I need to have it. I don't want to have it. It doesn't feel like it's mine anymore. I don't have this like absolute, this powerlessness. Like I can't not have it. And then they say, but I'm afraid to say anything because maybe this won't last. It's like as if we're going to jinx it, but I'm so afraid, like, what happens if this goes away? Because for many people, this is something either they haven't experienced it for many years or they've never experienced it at all. And it's such an amazing feeling. And then this fear creeps up. What if it doesn't last? What if I go back to that place where where this horrible place where I'm completely obsessed about food and I don't want to, and I want to eat healthy and I seems like I have no choice in it and I'm absolutely compelled and driven to eat these foods that I know are harmful to me. So people are fearful of going back to that place, especially when they suddenly know another place of this like wonderful freedom from feeling enslaved to food. So this is something that I want to talk about. First of all, it's a very natural reaction. Our minds and brains are wired to focus on danger because that was the way we were able to survive in the savannah, right? When we would do something, we were always hyper focused on the danger because then if some, tiger or whatever it is creeped up on us, we wouldn't get eaten because we were always hyper vigilant about the danger. So it's not that people who are thinking about the bad things or are afraid that bad things will happen or are afraid of danger, that doesn't make them it doesn't mean they're really necessarily pessimistic. And it doesn't mean that they only see that. We are normally wired, we are biologically wired to notice first the half empty part of the cup and not the half full part. So first of all, give yourself a break if that's the way you react to things also, because that's the way we are wired to think. Having said that, it doesn't mean that we have to act on that. It doesn't make it fact. It doesn't make it true. And it doesn't mean that we have to be led by this hypervigilance to danger or by this, fear that good things won't last. And a lot of times, well, people will say to me, what if I can't do this forever? What if it doesn't? What if I regain the weight? What if? And here's what I will say to all of you who are worried about celebrating something good because then maybe it'll disappear. First of all, when we celebrate the good things that happen to us in life, we do not have this magical power to make those things go away. If they will go away, whether it be within our control or not, well, if it's in our control, we can do what we can to prevent that. But if there are things or powers happening that are not within our control, then the fact that it will stay or not stay is not dependent on our celebrating what we have, the good things and wonderful things that we have today. We do not have magical powers to influence something in the future. Okay, the future does not exist. It only exists in our imagination. That's the only place. The past is gone, not here anymore. What's done is done. We cannot change the past, and the future is not here yet. It does not exist except in our thoughts and in our imagination. And whether we imagine a good future, a wonderful future for ourselves and, in general, or if we imagine catastrophes and things not lasting and getting ruined, is completely up to us. But if you want to know the truth, I actually take what the 12-step programs like NA and AA and Overeaters Anonymous and all the 12-step programs, what they say is just for today. Actually, if tomorrow doesn't exist, then obsessing over it and worrying about it's just really a complete waste of energy. The truth is, I think if the COVID virus has taught us something, it's that we really do not know what's going to be in the future. We do not know. And no matter what we imagine, that's not, there's a lot of things that can happen that we would never even think of. So, what can I do? Well, first of all, I can do what's in my power and in my possibility and in my capabilities to make sure that my future is as good as possible. And I can do that by the things that I do today, not by what I'm thinking about and worrying about. It's not about what I want, it's about what I do. And if I will do those little actions today to make my future as good as possible, that's what I can do, which means just for today, which means to concentrate on today, do what I can, what I needs to be done to plan for a good or even better tomorrow. And then that's it. I have to leave the future to the future. So the fact that I celebrated with this one lovely woman who's so dear to my heart, a very significant milestone in her life that was significant to me too as well, will not make it go away. It will just mean that we are celebrating and recognizing and enjoying the good things that we have today. And just remember, when we focus on the good things that we have, that's what gets empowered. That's what exists for us more. That is what we see. When we focus on the bad things that are in our life or the bad things that could happen, that's what we're giving power to. We're giving power to those bad things that happen. And I'll say the same thing about food, especially if you are living a sugar-free life. And if you are worried, what will happen if I break? Will I really keep this weight off forever? Will I feel this way about sugar and foods? Will I always feel this serenity and this wonderful, separation that I have from the compulsion to eat? Will I have this forever? Will it last forever? Well, you don't know. Neither do I. And really, the truth is, right now, if you're enjoying that, and that's what you feel today because you've gone sugar-free, then does it really matter? Is it really going to change anything today except that it will just take away from your enjoyment of what you have today? So enjoy today. If you have eaten today in a way that feeds your body and your soul in a healthy way, celebrate it, enjoy it to the fullest, and recognize that if you get this little worry about is this going to last? Well, that's a natural reaction to your brain, but then you can just say, okay, it's a natural reaction to my brain, but it's not real. It doesn't mean that there's any reality in it or any truth. It doesn't make it fact, and just set it aside and keep enjoying for today. And of course, do the actions that you need to do in order to have your healthy food choices available to you and ready for tomorrow, which means prepping the food, packing it, taking it with me, and doing all those actions I need to do every single day to make sure that my sugar-free life is available, is as those actions that will make sure that it happens, that will make it as easy as possible for me, that will prevent me from falling and failing. So this is my message to you. If you have good things in your life today, don't be afraid to celebrate them. Don't be afraid to enjoy them. The other way around. Talk about them. Make them the biggest deal possible, because that is then what will be in your life. And do the actions that you need to do to make sure you have as good a tomorrow as possible. And that's it. Leave the rest, if it's not in your control and it's not in your power, just let it go. The future does not exist. We do not have magical powers our thoughts cannot necessarily change the future. What changes it is our actions. So I hope that this will give you some strength and motivation for your sugar-free journey, and have a great week, a wonderful day. Love you guys, and I'll see you here again next week on my weekly live Sunday, 2 p.m. Israel time. Bye-bye.